How many of you were told that if you don't buy your daily coffee or bubble tea, you will be on your road to become a millionaire one day? You see, we are often told to keep a track on every dollar we spend, like this extra bubble tea or this extra coffee would cost us a lifetime opportunity to get rich and to cut out all these small luxuries to save money on your way to financial independence. But is that really the way to achieve long-term financial success? In this video today, I want to share why I no longer track my expenses and what I focus on instead to win the bigger financial battles. And how I will do it is that I'll break it down into 3 key areas that will have a significant impact on my financial journey, namely income growth, investing wealth, and lastly, tax efficiency. And if you want to join a like-minded community of over 20,000 members interested in personal finance and financial independence, join us at Honey Money SG Telegram for free right now. Firstly, let's talk about income growth because I think this should be your primary focus. We always talk about if you want to have more focus on saving or you want to have more focus on earning. And the truth is that you will first need to have earning before your savings, right? Because if you only earn $10, then how much are you going to save? You still need to go for your daily expenses. So earning has to come before savings. Therefore, instead of tracking every dollar, focus on increasing your earning potential through skills development, promotions, and networking. And the main reason is because I want you all to see the opportunity cost of tracking every expenses. I know that tracking expenses really take a lot of time. If you spend like half an hour to 1 hour every day just recording down your expenses, do you know how much more you can put in this amount of hours into better use, either on your career advancements or side hustles that can have a bigger financial impact to generating more wealth? And instead of min-maxing every single spend or expense that you have, I want you all to focus on lifestyle optimization. What does lifestyle optimization means? It means that you create a lifestyle that aligns with your financial goals by investing in education, personal development, your network, or in other skills that can, help you earn more income, especially when your opportunity cost is that low. I think this advice is really important for fresh graduates because when you start out in your career, your monthly income is actually really low. So that will also mean that your cost of time is really low. And that's when you really want to develop your professional network. You want to develop and outgrow yourself to either get licensed or, you develop a particular skill that can pay you higher. So this is my first point. Instead of tracking expenses, you should focus on income growth first. Because ultimately, when you have a larger income, you can then have higher savings, assuming you don't up your lifestyle. And with that, brings us to the next point, prioritizing investments. I understand that when we are just starting out investing, the amounts are very small and it compounds really slowly and it's so minute that you don't even feel the need to invest. But I want to urge everyone that investments is for the long term. Every single small step that you take today will contribute to a larger portfolio for the next 10 to 15 years. So prioritize wealth building over investments instead of saving every single cent. Because all these capital gains, all these dividends, or even some foreign exchange gains, if any, can outpace you saving every little dollar or little cents. And the good news is investments do compound over time for the long term, and this will greatly outpace the savings that you get. And this is assuming you have invested in a broad-based ETF or index fund. Now for investing, there's a strategy known as dollar cost averaging. This strategy involves investing a fixed amount in stocks or ETFs regularly, which allows you to buy more shares when the prices are low and fewer when they are high. This method not only lowers the overall cost of investments, but also reduces the market volatility of your long-term portfolio. With the recent pullback in the US stock markets, this may be a great opportunity to start. And to start investing using Moomoo app, there is a function called regular savings plan that helps you make this kind of investment automatically. You can start from investing as little as $5, which may be the cost of a cup of coffee. How about the past performance? We can make a calculation here. If you have invested weekly in the Nasdaq 100 ETF over the last 3 years, you could now have earned around 27%. And considering the recent pullback in the US stock market, this may be the opportunity to start investing from as low as $5. Here, I added a picture. You can pause to see how to set up your RSP investment in Moomoo app. Utilizing Moomoo comparison feature under index ETFs, you can easily compare things like expense ratio, dividend yield, and AUM. You can also use Morningstar ratings where it rates the funds according to the risk-adjusted returns relative to peer funds. Morningstar is usually a paid service, but this is offered to users of Moomoo Singapore for free. Also, Moomoo is offering attractive sign up rewards, where you can get up to 820 Singapore dollars of welcome rewards if you use my link in description. For example, when you deposit 100 Singapore dollars, you get an exclusive 20 Singapore dollars trading cash coupon. And then if you fulfill the cumulative deposit criteria like 3,000, 10,000, 50,000 or even 100,000 Singapore dollars tier, plus you complete all the holding and trade requirements, you can get up to 450 Singapore dollars of Tesla shares and 350 Singapore dollars of trading cash coupons. Total rewards value of 820 Singapore dollars. Terms and conditions apply. And this makes it a good additional income that you can consider. So I also want to talk about the mindset shift when you start investing for the long term, because you move from a scarcity mindset of scrimping and saving, and then you move to an abundance mindset where you prioritize growing and building your wealth through investments. And I'm sure many of you are also on board this financial independence journey where you want to build wealth for your retirement, and investing definitely plays a very strong part, much higher than frugality, because you cannot save your way to retirement with the inflation going on right now. Alright, so far what have we covered? Number 1, earning more income. Number 2, prioritizing investments. And finally, we come to number 3, and that is tax efficiency. How to optimize your taxes. In my channel, I always talk about ways to reduce your income tax, and that includes leveraging government schemes like CPF top-ups, SRS top-ups, and even other tax-efficient strategies like starting a business to help you maximize your savings and minimize your taxes. Now, most people overlook the importance of optimizing your taxes, and I dare to say that optimizing your taxes is more important than optimizing which credit card to use, because once your taxes is finalized and confirmed, you have to pay this tax expense to IRAS. You know, the money is never coming back. It's not like CPF, you keep contribute, then maybe when you reach full retirement sum and you reach the age of 55, the money can come back to you in the form of CPF life payouts at 65, or you can even withdraw it for those sums above FRS when you turn 55. Tax optimizing strategy is ultimately about keeping more of what you earn for yourself, and you deserve it. And in fact, the money you save through tax optimization can go back to your investments, helping you to build even more wealth passively. Or you could use the money from tax savings to focus on building your personal development, go and learn more skills, go and take up more lessons, more courses, more workshops to, make yourself a more worthy individual so that you can aim for the next promotion or the next better career. And I understand that many high income individuals, they are very good at earning money, but they just don't have the time to sit down and look at their taxes and see where can they reduce it, like legally, and optimizing it to their own benefit. So if you have the resources, go and sit down with a tax professional and see where else can you reduce your taxes and minimize your outflow to the tax authority. So wrapping this up, I felt that why I don't track my expenses anymore is because firstly, I have developed a frugal habit, and all these frugal habits have been with me since young. So I don't need to over optimize and then every day look at what I spend on. I spend on food, I spend on coffee, supermarket, all these things. Alright, I want you all to focus on the big wins. I don't want to keep looking at all these small items. The 3 big wins. Number 1, earning more income. Number 2, optimizing and prioritizing investments. And number 3, optimizing for tax efficiency, especially if you earn a very high income. That is super important. But like I said already, if your financial habits are not healthy, every day you are splurging, every day you're spending unnecessarily, then I think as a fundamental step, it is very important for you to track your expenses first lah. Because I always say, reduce the negative first, then you can start on the positive. If you have both positive and negative traits, it's going to be very hard. It's like trying to save a leaking tap. It will keep flowing no matter how much you try to stop it. So this is my personal take of why I don't track my expenses anymore. Though I understand that for some of you, you are still in the stage of tracking expenses, and that's fine, because I may want to go on live stream to create my own personal budget spreadsheet, tracking expense for people who are still in this stage and they need someone to guide them because they may not even know how to start. And I applaud you for your effort to start, because there are some people who are still in the dilulu stage, like, I don't care, I just spend because I will get my salary next month anyway, and that is a very dangerous financial mindset. Meanwhile, if you have already woken up, you are in your awakened status and you want to start investing but don't know how to, then I can guide you in this How to Start Investing for Beginners in Singapore 2025 version.